I try to make like, you know, a UT, a Baylor, a A&M, a Tech.
You're such a
I
politician.
can't always make, you know, but I try and make it.
It's your alma mater. You got to go to that.
Yeah, I know.
Go to
but
those.
We have to show love to everybody. All right, good morning. The July 24th, 2024 School Land Board meeting will come to order. It's being held in person at 1700 North Congress Avenue, Stephen F. Austin Building. Access to the meeting by members of the public was published in advance in the Texas Register in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any member of the public who wishes to address the School Land Board may do so during the public comment period. And will the board secretary please call the roll?
Chairwoman Buckingham,
Here.
Ms. Burke, Mr. Curley,
Here.
Mr. Neal,
Here.
Mr. Barciaga.
All right, there being three members in attendance, a quorum is present, and we're now officially in order. Please stand and join me to the Pledge of Allegiance for our U.S. and Texas flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Okay, item number one, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the June 18th, 2024 School Land Board meeting. Members, any wish for discussion or questions before we move to approve?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, hearing no objection, minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Next item, 2, public comment period. Members of the public may address the School Land Board concerning any matter within the authority of the board. As chairwoman, I am limiting the length of time available to each speaker to 2 minutes. The board secretary shall keep track of time. Do we have anyone in attendance who wishes to address the board on any board matter at this time?
No, we do not.
All right, then we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the consent agenda. Before the board considers approval of the consent agenda, I'm announcing that item 3A.17 has been pulled from the agenda and will not be considered by the board. Members, any wish to extract any item from the consent agenda to discuss or vote on individually? All right, do I hear a motion to approve then?
I move.
Second.
All right, hearing no objection, motion is made, seconded, and carries by unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as amended. Next item on the agenda is number 4, consideration and possible action to approve amended rule Title 31, Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 151.6, and the chair recognizes Jeff Gordon to present item number 4.
Chairwoman, board members, for the record, Jeff Gordon, GLO General Counsel. Item number 4 is the concerns consideration and possible action to approve the amended rule, Title 31, Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 151.6. This is the rule that governs, the draft rule that governs distributions from the Real Estate Special Funds Account, RESFA, to the ASF, which is, the board is required to create a rule. We came to you in at the May 7th board, and we approved, and you approved publication of a draft rule that was published on May 24th. 30-day comment period ended on June 24th. No comments were received. So staff is recommending that you approve the amended rule as was published. And if you grant that, we will then publish notice to the public that the rule as originally published is final. Any questions?
I move to approve the rules as amended.
I second.
All right, motion is made, seconded it, and without any opposition, it passes unanimously to approve item number 4. Next item on the agenda, number 5, is consideration and possible action on proposed amendments to 31 TAC Section 9.51 B3E 4 relating to royalty and reporting obligations to the state. Chair recognizes Ken Mills to present item number 5.
Good morning, Commissioner, board members. Ken Mills from Office of General Counsel. This item is a follow-on to an April item where staff proposed an amendment to this particular rule, 9.51, which is the rule that covers all aspects of oil and gas lessees paying to the school fund. This particular clause is one that was added 8 years ago to flesh out the statute that says that the board can adopt by rule, it can adopt a rule addressing requests for reduction of penalty and interest. So that's what this clause does. It sets out criteria. It also says that the board can establish a de minimis threshold from time to time at any of its meetings. The way the rule had worked required that the original amount of the unreduced penalty and interest be above the threshold. As a practical matter, the small items that it seemed to make sense for the board to delegate to the commissioner were those where the amount of money actually being forgiven, the actual reduction is below a de minimis threshold. So it just required changing 2 words in the existing rule to get that effect. The proposed amendment was published in the Texas Register. We received no comments. I'll represent to you that I got no outreach at all from industry. And so at this time, staff would recommend final adoption of the rule. And I also have as a recommendation establishing the $25,000 de minimis threshold. That's the same threshold that's been in effect for the last 8 years. But this is an opportunity, if the board wanted to take it, to revisit that amount. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I have none.
Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the rule and adopt the $25,000 threshold.
I'll second.
All right, motion's made and seconded. Seeing no opposition, it passes unanimously to approve item number 5. Next item on the agenda is number 6, consideration and possible action on the publication of Notice of Rules Review of School Land Board Rules located in Title 31, Part 4, Chapters 151, 154, and 155 of the Texas Administrative Code. And the chair recognizes Tracy Cotton to present item number 6.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Cotton, attorney with the Office of General Counsel. I'm presenting agenda item 6, which is an action item. As background for this item, we're talking a lot about rules today. Texas Government Code Section 2001.039 requires state agency to conduct periodic reviews of all of their rules. So we're coming here today with the staff's recommendation that we begin that process with regard to the rules that are in Title 31.4 of the Administrative Code, covering Chapters 151, Chapters 154, and Chapters 155. So the review is a process-driven, step-by-step process. This is the first step in that process, so we're here asking for board approval to publish notice in the Texas Register to give the public an opportunity to comment on all of these rules prior to our in-depth review internally. There will be multiple steps after this. We'll do an internal review, decide if the rules should stay in place, should be amended, or should be repealed. At that point, we'll come back to you as the board with recommendations on what those rules should be going forward. But right now, we're just asking for that approval to be able to publish the notice to the public to give them an opportunity to have a say as well. Does anyone have any questions?
You know, and you and I have spoken about this, but just for the public, you know, this needs to be a real process by which we take a real examination of our rules and do make a significant effort to be sure that our rules reflect our practices and they are as efficient and as few as needed. So we look forward to this process.
So that, so our recommendation is that we proceed with publication of the notice of review for those chapters 151, 154, and 155 of the Administrative Code.
Okay, other questions or comments?
I move.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, motion's
you.
made and seconded, seeing no opposition, it's approved unanimously for item number 6. That concludes the posted board agenda. And does any board member wish to be recognized to provide any further comments or discussion?
I have none.
All right, there being no further business before the School Land Board, the July 24th, 2024 meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
9 minutes, that's probably a